Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It has not been so long since I last spoke to you, but the thing is, the last video that I made you haven't seen yet because I'm posting these out of order. So I have recently been speaking to you, but you haven't heard any of what I've said yet because that video will be coming out soon, once I've edited it. But today I want to go through my September TBR because I'm going to be doing, for the first time ever, Shorty September, which I don't really know what it's about, but basically from the title I can tell that the concept is short books that you read in September. I don't know whether there is a limit of pages that the book has to be considered a short book, so I don't know if it's like books that are under 100 pages or something like that. Luckily all of the books that I have are under 100 pages. Wow, I can't speak. Under 100 pages long. But I don't know what any of the parameters are. I just heard about this concept on a recent video on Renee's channel. Her channel is called The Left-Handed Reader. I heard about it through her because she recommended a book and I immediately felt intrigued, and she mentioned that it would be a good book to read for Shorty September because it is only 87 pages long. And so I thought, I can do that. I can read a book that's 87 pages long. And then I looked at my bookshelf and I saw another short book that I could read. And then I looked at my my e-reader, and found another short book that I could read. So all in all, I have 3 books on my TBR for September, for Shorty September. Probably a slight angle change because my battery died again. I keep forgetting to put a new battery in before I start filming. Anyway, I Have More Souls Than One by Fernando Pessoa. This is a short collection of some poems by Fernando, and it is 56 pages long. And I'm very excited about it because I love poetry, and so I'm so glad that I now have a reason to read this book other than just, I could have read it at any time because I just can read whatever I want. But now I'm giving myself a reason to read it. So there's that. Then the book that got me into this idea of this challenge is called Killing Stella, and it is by an Austrian author called Marlen Haushofer. But it has recently been translated into English, and I am going to read the English version, even though I do kind of, wow, my hand is stuck in my hair. I do kind of want to read the German version as well, because I want to see what it would have been like in the original language. I also still have to read Corpus Delicti by Ulice, which is the original version of one of my favorite books, The Method. But that's a book for another time. I'm not going to do that right now. So I will read you the synopsis. It says, left alone for the weekend while her husband and 2 children are visiting her in-laws, Anna recounts the addition of her friend's daughter, Stella, into their already tense and tumultuous household. Staring out the window at her garden, Anna worries about the baby bird in the linden tree, about her husband, Richard, who flits from one adultery to another, about her son's gloomy demeanor and her daughter's obliviousness, and most of all, about Stella, a confused teenager who will meet a sudden and disastrous end. A domestic horror story that blossoms into a catastrophe, Marlen Haushofer's Killing Stella distills many of the themes of her acclaimed novel The Wall into a claustrophobic, gothic, shattering novella. Now, if that doesn't sound intriguing to you, fair play, because it does also kind of sound fairly distressing, but it sounds intriguing to me and I want to read it. It's also only 87 pages long, as I've mentioned before, and so I want to see what this is about, and also probably then to read more of Marlen's other works, because I have now gone down a little rabbit hole and looked at the other books she has written, and they all look really good. So maybe I found a new author who I'm going to become obsessed with, due to Renee. So Renee, if you see this video, thank you very much. I appreciate your recommendations. Then, next up, I have Paradise by Edna O'Brien. It is I don't really know if it's a short story or a novella. It's part of the Faber Stories collection, and I have it on my e-reader. An unnamed protagonist is on holiday with her new, much-married lover in the company of the monstrously rich. How long would she last? It would be uppermost in all their minds. Each day, while the others are out at sea, she is taught to swim. Eventually, she will be expected to perform. The pressure mounts. It is only a matter of time before she snaps. Edna O'Brien crafts a quietly horrifying scene of eroticism and insecurity, and makes one woman's near-fatal discomfort stand for society's larger trap. Bringing together past, present, and future in our 90th year, Faber Stories is a celebratory compendium of collectible work. Okay, there you have a little bit of an info about Faber Stories. So there we go. I didn't realize that both of the stories I had selected are kind of like short horror, I almost said films, books. Might have been better to read them in October, but hey, I'm gonna read 2 horror adjacent stories in the lead up to October. Don't know what I'll be reading in October. Probably nothing horrible, horrifying, or spooky, because I don't really have any other books like that. So there is my September TBR for Shorty September. If you are participating in Shorty September, let me know what your TBR is, and even if you're not, let me know what you're reading anyway. I'm always interested to hear about what you all are reading, because I feel like you read far more interesting stuff than I do sometimes, and I get really good recommendations from you all. So I appreciate it. I appreciate all of the comments that you all leave, and I love reading them and I love replying to them. So if you ever feel called to leave a comment, I would appreciate it. But anyway, thank you all for being here. I hope you've enjoyed this little TBR. I will be back again soon with that other video I spoke to you about, but also possibly at the end of the month, hopefully, with a wrap-up of the books that I've read. Because if I don't read these 3 books in September, then I think there's no hope for me. If I can't even read how many, it's just about, I think it's just a little bit more than 200 pages worth of books in one whole month, then I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself, to be honest. Anyway, thank you all for being here. I will see you again soon. Cheers.